Hello, and thanks for tuning in to the Kitchen Table Adventures podcast. Join us on our Pathfinder 2nd Edition adventure brought to you right here from our kitchen table. Kitchen Table Adventures is available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. Enjoy the episode.
Plowing with some hose.
Plowing with hose.
Song about plowing.
This podcast is run by 5-year-olds?
Indeed.
In this heat, our age is decreased by 2.
Wait, we're 3 now?
20, I mean.
We're negative 15.
We
predate ourselves.
We just had our de-aging arc. It was kind of awkward to go into puberty in reverse.
But yeah, you guys rejoin.
Rejoin and rejoice.
Rejoice.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Stay drunk, hell yeah.
Forbin hasn't appeared yet.
Do we even know what he looks like?
Nope.
Did we get a... Can I ask for a description of Forbin?
I doubt he just comes in and pronounces his own name.
It's like Forbin.
Yes, hi, Forbin. Here you have arrived for my pre-dinner drinking binge. Yeah.
Kicks in the door. Rejoice!
Rejoice, peasantry, for I, Forbin, am here.
Bless you with my presence.
Bask in my glory.
Your savior is here. Yeah.
Oh boy.
I'm going to be very disappointed if that's not his voice.
He's described as just a...
He's described as perfectly average.
Well, he's an
Yes.
artist and he's eccentric, so he'll probably stand out.
He himself is a middle-aged dwarf, but his most distinct feature is he has heterochromatic eyes. So he has a brown eye and a grey-ish eye. She describes him and she points out looking at the eyes would be the easiest way because it's unique. Considering if she just describes him as a dwarf, you've seen him like 20 times outside already, so...
Just imagine a scenario where I'm just like, are you Forbin? Are you Forbin? Are you Forbin?
just pick him up to call, are you Forbin? Oh, yeet. Forbin, yeet.
But like over the fence.
Just a mountain of dwarves
Just
outside.
just into the inn where we're waiting. I'm like, okay, another one.
And then just...
They get him another ale.
At some point, you just start stacking like bowling pins throughout the inn
Stack the dwarves up.
in a bowling pin form.
Yeah.
But yeah, as you guys are day drinking, Alendar enters the building.
Your savior is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's now like 5 o'clock, approaching dinner time, so Forbin should be arriving roughly around this time, but
What kind of food do they serve here?
it's very rustic, homely, mostly just comfort food. It's not plain, it's very nice, but just not very...
It's nice and comforting.
Yeah, it's not very sophisticated, just...
We'll order some food while we wait, I guess, for the both of us.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so she takes your order and...
Alendar's here and you guys don't even bother to get anything for them.
He's just kind of sitting there being sad at the bar.
Alendar's just there like...
Get scenes from Buckabee Tai playing in the background.
So yeah, she takes your order. A moment, not too long passes. The inn is starting to fill up, but it's still, well, not completely quiet, but for a dwarven tavern, it's just nice. Just want to eat, or maybe eat and wait for Forbin.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the meal shows up, and roughly halfway through dinner, the dwarf named Forbin shows up.
Does he announce himself?
He does not announce himself,
That's unfortunate.
So missing.
but every time someone enters, you guys just make sure to check who comes in.
It's just like the entire inn just goes, hey, it's Forbin! Forbin! How you doing, man? How's it going, Forbin? That's convenient.
Like all of a sudden someone from... Like there's a friend's couch where everyone's just sitting. It's like, hey!
As the innkeeper mentioned, he has a brown and a grey eye. So it's every time someone enters, you basically just look at the eyes and nope.
Just jump up to him like, nope, that ain't great.
Do you see? For I am colorblind.
But yeah, as he enters, he walks up to the bar, and the innkeeper, she as they are talking, she already points him towards your table.
I raise a flagon.
He kind of holds his hand, and he grabs his drink and walks up towards you guys. You were looking for me?
Yeah, we heard you were the guy to go to for some information about the ruins.
Oh, you're the adventurers coming to help us with. Yeah, mind if you sit?
No? Take a seat.
So yeah, he takes a seat and he starts describing about what happened. Not a 20.
I'm so glad we haven't had combat yet.
Oh god. Whoever goes first wins then.
So yeah, there's not a whole lot of useful information. It's mostly the same. He was out near the border towards Isker, and on his way back, he passed besides the cemetery, which is connected to the ruins, and he heard wailing. So yeah, he was curious and went to check it out, and he managed to get himself towards the actual ruins, the cathedral, or at least the abbey, the ruin building. But the closer he got, the stronger the sound became. And when he was just in front of it, it almost seemed like the sound was like coming from every direction. So not from just inside, but it was everywhere. And he freaked out, so he left. He doesn't mention seeing anything, just hearing the sound. But it lines up with all the stories you've heard about this sound being there, but not really coming from anywhere.
Have you been back there ever since, or just steer clear of that?
He avoids it. He does pass along the other path, but he does avoid getting near.
So what time of day do you remember what time of day it was?
I returned quite late, so I think 9, 10-ish. It was getting pretty late, so it was getting dark, or mostly dark, when I got there. But so I wasn't sure if I just didn't see it, but yeah, the place spooked me, and I wasn't gonna stay there.
Or did it sound human or something else?
It sounded like a woman crying.
And that's all you know?
That's all I saw or heard. Better. Have you spoken to anyone else?
Like in few townsfolk, but most of them just tell the same thing. Hearing crying, wailing, shadow people.
Yeah, I've asked around and at least met some of the other people who experienced it, but it looks like everyone says the same, or if they've seen the same, just a crying woman. But
No one has actually seen the source, just heard it and seen some shadows move around.
I don't think so. I mean, you'd have to ask the other people, but
Got maybe some names that we can chase down?
yeah, but as he starts mentioning people, they seem to be the same people already mentioned and well, not interrogated, but spoken to before.
Alright.
Anything else I can help you guys with? I mean,
Anything you guys want to ask?
No, I don't think there's much else we could get from this story at the moment. We already know where it is as well, since our...
I don't think that there's going to be a lot more than we can learn in town, unless there's a bookstore that contains specific treatises on a variety of things for us to do research in. But if not, then we're going to have to get down notice to the grindstone.
Well, I'm sufficiently intoxicated, so you guys want to try to have a go at it?
Let's go tomorrow. We have
You
to think about
already-
vision for you.
That will be no problem. I got the torch.
We got a torch as a cat.
And that.
And I have light. But then again, we also have to get there and back again. So, and I don't trust myself enough in the wilderness to be able to find my way back there at night.
Well, we got a tracker with us and a homing beacon attached to set tracker. So,
We'll be fine.
Up to you guys if you want to go at night.
I said let's go.
Okay.
I buy Forbin a drink. And, thank him for his efforts.
he thanks you, and he says his goodbye to you guys and joins a other table it seems to be a few friends of his.
All right, I'd say we head out.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. Someone make a survival check to see if you can
Oh, no.
navigate in the dark.
I provide a.
I'll lead.
It's an 11 total.
23.
And that's with a +7. I mean,
It's just. Yes, just. Yeah.
I have not been here before. That's my excuse.
You miss a tree so much, you just get too distracted hugging them.
Hugging every tree and just, oh, look at this nice oak. Oh, look at this.
Just
oh,
one
look
is
at
just a
this
really,
willow.
one is just a really big lumberjack. Of the tree.
It's like just three dwarfs stacked on the.
So what is that from Gravity Falls
my
with the
daily
gnomes?
preparations for my alchemist dedication was a healing potion for her.
Yeah, I think there were one or two, like a elixir and a healing potion. I think maybe. I think you wrote it down, but
Yeah, minor elixir of life.
For my 5 infused reagents that I get, I'll have 1 minor elixir of life to distribute to whoever needs it. Keep that myself. Give you a mutagen.
Okay.
Juggernaut mutagen, and for the rest I'll make lesser alchemist fires.
okay. So yeah, easy enough to find the place. Alendar already visited, so
I'll let Joe scorch a little patch of grass every now and again so we can
Find a way
back.
Hansel and Gretel it up, but with a flaming cat.
just
Yes.
follow the burning path.
You
Yes.
follow the fire. Follow the wildfire. No, not go away from it. Go towards it, you idiot.
Did I stutter?
So you're now at the outskirts of this place, and it seems to be a like a small mound with the ruins on top, and on a lower step of this tiny hill is a small cemetery, and you guys are now at the outskirts, so not on the area itself yet.
Is it now like dusk or is it like full on nighttime? You left
It's
us about
it's
6.
summertime, so it's getting darker by now.
Okay,
but
but I can
not-
still see.
You can still see, yeah.
Can I scout the area a little bit to see if I see something?
Make a
Good.
perception.
Can I listen in the meantime if I hear anything?
Make a perception.
24.
That is a 24.
And I'll just be walking around with detect magic on.
Around the area or
Not
Yeah,
that
just around the
the outskirts.
Yeah, just
Like we hear the wailing as well, right? Or
Yeah, at the outskirts you start just it starts slowly building up, but you notice that the closer you get, the stronger it seems. So
with my 24, can I determine if
this is the cemetery
the
you see.
whale is like human or something? Or-
Wait,
There's like
where
a
do we arrive? Like at the bottom here?
yeah, at the
Alright.
bottom you're basically still kind of like
Continue
off the
being
map,
ignored.
just to the below. But this you can kind of see up towards the hill.
He has a shiny
At the top you start seeing the
Like the actual
ruins.
ruin.
Yeah,
okay,
but
and there's
the-
like small mausoleums.
Yeah.
And then like there's a few pathways leading up and gravestones.
kind of going slightly around.
and that's only for you to see.
Oh right.
We're
Yeah.
we're all there. I
Yeah,
mean,
but like,
He makes the perception check. He sees his bed, but yeah.
She also made a perception check.
and also got a 24.
Oh well, then she sees the same.
but
Oh, she hears
I was
the
being,
same.
I was being ignored.
Yeah, we came in from basically from the south, so we're
Mm.
at this like T-split right now.
Right.
At the top of the map, you start seeing the ruins, but because they're kind of like higher elevated, and there's still some broken walls. You're kind of just looking against the walls. So even though you can see the building has kind of like crumbled, you can't really look inside because of the angle.
Okay.
Do we see like anything out of the ordinary? Like Zoink Scoop. That was actually pretty good. It was.
A bit to the side, near one of the mausoleums, you see a single. At least there are more trees, but there's a single tree which seems to be kind of out of place.
Well, I'm gonna get to the root of the problem and gonna start punching some trees.
Don't punch the trees. They never did anything to you.
Eleanor says as she runs up and hugs the tree.
compared to the other trees in the forest and around this place, this one seems to be kind of just not fitting in. Like it seems to be a different kind of tree.
It's like the rest is like oak, and this is like birch wood.
Yeah, it seems to be just not. It stands out. It's not like it's huge or anything. It just doesn't seem to be fitting for this place.
I'll go check it out. But do I see anything out of the ordinary on this tree?
Does it shake off all its leaves?
Being ignored.
That's true.
You rolled for the perception for
what I could hear and if I could discern whether it was, I don't know, a
Sorry, I
creature that
kinda-
I would recognize or a human or...
the sound you hear. It seems like a female or a human woman, or at least it sounds female. It's hard to tell the exact race, but it sounds like just a crying woman. But the source is very hard to actually discern. As you get closer, you notice the source seems to be kind of like almost spreading out. So
I'm making
from
my
a
way
distance,
up
you
there.
can kind of
Slowly
hear
but
it's
surely.
coming from a building. But the closer you get, the more like it sounds like it's coming from the entire area, and it's kind of like just enveloping the space instead of coming from a
Can I
source.
discern whether it's not just the wind? And people are just cuckoo.
Yeah, it's easy enough to tell. It's a actual sound, not just
Alright.
wind blowing through a funny hole and just...
Do I detect anything with my detect magic going around?
It's the Allen radar.
The Allen star. I detect Allens.
Alan.
Allen.
Allen.
Oh, yeah. 30 feet.
The Allen jar.
Presence of magic. So, how far up to the building are you going? Just staying outside of the cemetery, or
No,
actually?
if they're going into the cemetery, I'm joining them in
Okay.
there.
In that case, you notice the tree giving a magic ping.
The tree gives the
Allen
magic.
detected. It's like on your visor it says Allen detected.
There's an Alan inside the tree.
Like I just have Terminator visions. It's like there's little lines of code everywhere, and I look around. Tree lights up. Allen detected. There's something off about that tree. It's
I was
Magical.
walking towards it already.
be careful out there.
I make no promises.
I know.
Can I roll for tree? What do I need to roll? if I want to
Your nature
investigate?
or survival?
Roll to punch it.
Can that be an attack roll? Just chop down a tree? No.
Roll to range.
That is a 23 for survival and an 18 if it was nature.
Yeah, so you can do, but survival's your better one. So from closer up, you can definitely tell this tree doesn't belong here. You can tell from the ground. It's almost like this tree was just planted here. Usually, if looking at the other trees, you can kind of tell there's like moss growing, and the way the dirt is.
This looked like it has moved recently.
This one, it looks like it's just literally been planted here. The earth is kind of overthrown a bit. There's moss around it, but not on the actual tree. And it just doesn't belong in this place, or it hasn't just grown here.
As a precaution, I activate my ring and unbuckle my sword and touch the tree. See if I feel like anything radiating from it.
I stay where I am. Detect magic still going. Actually, now that I know that it's there, I drop my detect magic and I cast read aura on the object.
Let's see how
Would you like to do
long.
anything?
No, not yet.
Cast time is 1 minute. Okay.
Not yet.
You're ready to start a forest
And
fire.
it gives you
What does it pain?
Only you can cause forest fires.
It gives you the School of Magic. Okay. So as you start casting it, you touch it.
Like flat palm, but with an unbuckled sword as well.
It does feel like a normal tree. Just looking at it and ignoring the floor and the ground around it, there's nothing strange about the tree itself. It doesn't seem to be. It's unfit to be here. It just seems to be misplaced. Yeah. The tree itself doesn't appear.
It's a century.
Someone accidentally planted the tree.
Whoops.
Copy paste in the wrong area.
Oops!
Or planted itself.
I copy pasted the wrong kind of tree here.
So as you're touching the tree, you get a ping from your read aura. Technically, it's for an item, but
What does that mean?
It's an object. The tree is an object, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
technically
no,
it's
in
not
this
a
case.
item.
In
but
this case, no, it's...
If you can swing the tree around, it could be considered an item.
But yeah, I'm just gonna say, you sense a occult presence to this tree.
It's Cthulhu.
We cannot comprehend the true nature of the tree. The tree is just what our minds make of it. Okay, yeah, that adds up. Whatever that tree is, it's a part of whatever's happening here.
Mind if I chop it down?
By all means.
Go for a double-handed swing.
Make a
I look at Aelinor first. When I say that, can I chop it down?
Yeah, we can try. Just please be careful. I'm not entirely sure what to expect here.
I am going to roll for tree.
make a attack.
Make a
On the
tree.
rage.
Meanwhile, I want to hint at Joe to like flame on.
This is a
Joe flames on, starts burning.
this is a 28 to hit.
A 28 hits.
Okay. It's 9 plus. It's 11, 15.
So as you whack into the tree, it seems to be remarkable sturdy. Like you've hit trees before, and a tree of this size, you should be able to at least go halfway with the amount of force you're putting in this. But you give like a dent. It does go in, but
It bounces back.
It dents,
The
it
tree is
dents the
metal.
tree and my ego.
yeah, you are actually cutting into it and going through the bark, but it seems to be a lot more resilient as to what you would expect.
Is my weapon? I have a tabletop question. Is my weapon considered magical now that it's engraved with a rune?
No, I think for magical you need a separate
That's a good question, isn't it?
magical gear, magical trait. I don't think it is. Striking, rune, striking.
It's basically just an enhancement, like a sort of magical sharpening tool.
Doesn't say it becomes magical, so I don't think it is, but
I take a step back
Also-
and watch what happens.
Just as a tabletop thing as well, because it is relevant at this point. With Read Aura, I learn which magical school it is. So abjuration, conjuration, divination, enchantment.
necromancy.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no, that's not good. It's a cult and it's necromantic in nature. Cut it down.
What did you want to do?
As the tree receives its flesh wound, does the wailing get worse?
That's a good question.
As you hit the tree, the wailing stops and it becomes a scream. Sounds like you basically hit the woman, and she doesn't seem to like it. But the wailing stops after.
Do we want to investigate this further, or do we just chop down the tree?
I'm gonna look up if the. Oh well, yeah, it is magical. The fundamental, so striking gives it a magic trait.
Okay. It's kind of important to know. So what do we do?
As you after the whack, and you all hear the wailing because it's kind of like just annoying everywhere, and it's not that loud that you'd say it becomes a mental problem, but it is noticeable how it changes into a scream and stops after about a minute, if you wait that long.
Yeah.
After about a minute, you start hearing like growling.
Does it come from the tree, or
Same as the
Or everywhere again.
yeah, kind of like all the way around.
you guys want to check inside the ruins first, or do we take down this tree?
It's hard to tell. Something in me just says hit it again, but at the same time,
Tree is probably a part of something.
We just have to get to the root of it.
Extended nerve of something. I'd say we explore a little bit, see if we can find anything else, and then after that come back, cut down the tree.
Yeah, the same. Maybe there was like a source inside.
maybe.
I mean, yeah. I start moving uphill
Okay.
towards the ruins. There's like a door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a. Well, I'll just show you
Can we
again.
get to map?
Big stone
Yeah.
entry, as far as I remember seeing.
There's like a small stairway leading up.
And the
to
tree
a-
is like
almost
right
like
here,
a-
right on the right side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe we should check in the mausoleums.
There. Yeah, that might be a good idea.
I think secure our escape route. If there is more going on here than anything undead coming out of those.
Did you sense anything from the mausoleums?
I detected nothing from the mausoleums, but
Yes.
it might be a good idea just to double check everything. I switch
let me
from
check.
read aura back over to detect magic.
Okay.
And I start exploring the mausoleums.
I follow.
I mean, most mausoleums are usually closed off, so.
Not with violence, it is.
Can I roll for door?
For the ruins,
For the mausoleum?
for the mausoleum. There are like fancy but deteriorated wooden doors in it. So if you want, you can kind of like just bash them open. They don't seem they're starting to kind of like crumble and rot down.
So do we investigate or leave these alone?
Out of the blue. Hello.
Yeah, opening the bestiary. It's an elemental farting pass.
You're like, right, okay, sure, I suppose. Well, we check the mausoleums. See if we can just push our way in.
I tried the door.
Just want to just push it open or
Yeah, for now. I just want to see.
make a what's it? Athletics
Athletics?
or no athletics.
That's
Is it got
cock.
Is it worse?
And that is still 13.
It takes a bit of effort, but as you start kind of like pushing it, most of the door just kind of falls apart and the hinge kind of gives in, and it falls down.
What do I see?
Make a perception check.
That's better.
Much
23. And if it's too dark in there, I'd light the ever-burning torch.
It's not dark yet, right?
No, but it might be in the mausoleum.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you notice it's hard to see inside because it's dark, but using the torch, you shine some light on it, and you see a single casket, like a stone casket, in the center of this kind of small room. There's like a few symbols and just some carvings, and it seems to be like just personal possessions and decoration which has been left with the person. It's extremely dusty.
Do I notice any like tracks from the casket? And is the casket closed?
It's closed and everything is covered in a layer of dust. Doesn't seem.
Does my detect magic pick anything up?
No,
Then we'll basically do the same thing for
at
the other
least
two.
the same as before.
We'll basically do the same thing for the other two, just to make sure.
Roll another athletics and a perception check.
That is a 26 for the athletics and 20 for the perception.
So yeah, just Kool-Aid man, you kind of just walk in through the door.
Oh yeah!
And
There's like an ash-shaped hole in the door.
seems most of the things you find are similar, just layers of dust.
Same idea. Casket closed. No.
Yeah, one of the caskets is open, but inside is the same amount of dust and just.
Is there a corpse inside?
There is a corpse, just a completely decayed skeleton.
I close the casket
You close the casket.
and go to the next one. Aha! That is still a 19. We have athletics.
Still Kool-Aid Manning.
And a 22 for perception.
Final mausoleum, similar, just
Casket so closed.
casket still closed. This one seems to have a lot less. Like there's a burned out candle, and that's about it. The first one had like some relics and symbols and.
And this seems much fresher. Basically.
No, more like this one seems
Less important.
less important. Yeah, less stuff filling in the spaces.
Well, nothing here.
I guess we're fine on that front then.
Should we head into the ruins?
Yes.
Into the ruins we go!
I'm gonna do what I do best.
Go into the ruins.
Oh yeah!
Uh,
23.
The ruins themselves don't have a actual door, just a.
I just find a wall to oh yeah through.
You Kool-Aid man just besides the door.
Just next to the door.
If you swipe right, I think, or at least just swipe it, there should be another map.
Hey, it's your first swipe.
Not yet. We're getting there. There's some good ass mapping though. God damn.
Good ass mapping. Okay.
It's like just one cheek, there's the other.
Yes, I see.
So, what do we see when we enter here?
Basically, what you see on the map, it's a ruined building. The walls have crumbled down, and it seems like there was a second floor on top, but everything is just completely collapsed. You see some pillars indicating there were separate rooms, but by now it's almost like it's just one big hall with just a few pillars left. You keep going through or just open it in the
I want to have a good listen first to see if I can pinpoint the sound of the wailing.
My detect magic's also still going.
Can
Yeah.
you do the same?
Yeah, I just want to follow in behind and listen as well.
Oh yeah! Magic happens when I do that. 25 on the perception check. See, it even helps.
It even helps the roll after yours.
This is the 28 on perception.
Jesus.
Looking through these ruins, there seems to be like a small room in the back. So for you guys, the one
Back right.
over here in the top right, mostly collapsed. The other three are kind of still making it into a small room.
Yeah.
Alright.
And when you get there, you notice just some items, some stuff laying there, but it seems out of place enough to notice. This entire place is just a giant dump. It's dusty. It's just debris everywhere, and it doesn't seem like it's been visited in years. But
Except for those items.
yeah, these items, they seem kind of fresh. They are old and just
It's
just
a pumpkin,
musky,
but
but
half rotten.
yeah, it seems like they have been recently used and they're not covered in the same layer of just.
What kind of items are we looking at? I'm not touching anything, just looking at the items.
There's a few just random knickknacks like some cutlery, kind of like a cup, a teapot, and there's like a small canister with like just a lid on it, but you can't see what's inside of it.
Does it look locked from here?
No, it's more like it seems to be like a for tea canister, like a tea canister. Just you can just pop the lid off and like sugar, or you can just store things in it.
All right.
Not really locked, just a simple squeeze on lid. And there's a very small table to the side with a few presumably maybe alchemical items. They seem like dried flowers and just like seems to be like a chicken foot or something.
You gotta get your protein somehow.
You can't really identify everything, but it seems to be like for either cooking or alchemy or
Haggery.
Alendar, do you sense something in this room?
Do I sense something in this room?
you do not sense something in the room.
Would I, with my vague knowledge and considering the evidence that we have around us, be able to recognize anything? Considering the knowledge that I had before, that it might have something to do with
There's a
hags
picture.
or undead.
There's a picture of you as a kid.
Small little babby Alendar with a mask.
Make a occultism.
9.
Shit is going down, or at least you think there's it's noticeable something is going on here. It's weird, but it's hard to tell what exactly.
And we still hear that growling around us, right?
The growling has subsided, and
He's now crying again.
it's
I guess
I'll pick up the canister and check what's inside.
inside seems to be tea leaves, but you can't, or at least you don't know exactly what kind.
Walk up to Alendar and give him the canister.
Alright, take a look inside.
Same for you. You recognize tea. You could try using a crafting check to see if you can identify.
I do just that. With a 23.
You recognize this as Dreamtime tea. It's somewhere between a poison and just drugs. It's not really almost like the way we know weed. It's kind of most people know about it. Not everyone is as tolerant of it, but it's just a part of some people's life.
Is it deadly?
Smoking kills, so yeah.
It's tea.
No, it's at least it's by itself is it's not, but using too much or if you in game terms miss your saving throw, it can make you just kind of go either just dump down or actually just knock you out.
Alright.
But it's not deadly in the sense of you could die from ingest. It doesn't really hurt you.
So at this point, can we discern whether or not the sound has been coming from the tree?
No, the sound just seems to be coming from.
Just still reverberating all around us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the tree does respond.
What's the range on detect magic?
30 feet.
30 feet.
I'm kind of like prowling around the room, making sure that my aura touches
Yeah,
everything.
I'm starting to kind of continue my investigation throughout the
Everything
room.
the light touches is in my detect magic.
So, as you are inside everyone make a perception check, and you, Aelinor, make a one for Joe as well.
I rolled a 9.
A 9.
12.
Yeah, that's a 13 for me.
And for Joe.
And a 24 for Joe.
Go, Joe!
As you guys are investigating the ruins and kind of like looking at the tree, and as Alendar is kind of like identifying and telling you guys about what it is, Joe seems to kind of perk up and he starts looking towards the entrance of the ruins. He doesn't seem to be aggressive, more like he just
Curious.
Instant ghost.
he picked something up and he seems to be just slightly curious, looking at what it was.
So what do we do from here? Just investigate further? I can see on the map that there's like a hole here. But I don't know if that's actually part of...
I mean, I'm still going around exploring everything, so I guess I'll stumble into it eventually.
Then you'll be in a whole lot of trouble.
Yep.
Your face is like, it's too warm for this shit. Shut up.
So Joe perks up and he's curiously looking towards the entrance. So as this happens, you guys are somewhere here near the top right of the map, like in the back, and he doesn't really leave your side,
Okay.
but he does seem to be alert and starts looking at the main entrance.
Do we notice this?
Well, he's up my side.
Well,
so
you
I
do
would
notice
probably.
him acting weird,
Mm-hmm.
or at least reacting to something.
Okay, I respond to that and hint at him to, go on, and I follow.
As you start following him towards the entrance, you see in just outside of the doorway. Is it visible? on the map?
Yeah.
Right here, just from the stairs, a wall of just thorny brambles is like covering growing and covering the wall, and you kind of see it to the sides as well, like it's starting to just completely wall off that side.
And he's doing that while she's watching.
It's slowly just growing, but you see this happen.
That is a deeply rooted problem. I call back to my teammates. Guys, get over here. Something's happening.
Did we see anything while going around the room?
Inside the room?
I presume at this point I've checked every part of the detect magic.
Yeah, so in the top right corner there's this just this set of some stuff and the tea you find, and but the rest of the room doesn't seem to be anything particular.
Okay.
You
So yeah, we
notice,
noticed this. So when she goes to us,
the detect magic does give you a ping on the wall.
Was it like entirely covered?
ooh, that's a deeply rooted problem. Yeah.
That's what I said.
Okay, let's get out.
Can we still get out?
I'm assuming that the vines are kind of like growing around your. Ooh, yeah.
They're like on the outside of the building, but against the wall, and basically kind of like just walling it in.
They're covering the entrance as well?
Yeah, it's just a straight line, and it keeps on growing.
Still got one of them fire bombs on you?
I can do better. I can either produce I snap my hands, produce flame. Poof. It's also produce flame at the thorns.
What's the produce flame?
Yeah, I have to roll an attack roll.
Okay, yeah. Roll a tackle.
I wonder if there's going to be a major thorn in our side.
If you get too close.
That is a 25.
Yeah, that hits.
Just a hit?
Let's see, 25. Yeah, are they?
What is their AC?
No, it's immune to critical hits. So
okay.
it's just a normal hit.
Is 6 points of fire damage.
You see a part of the brambles kind of just scorch up, but the burning somehow it kind of fades out and almost like it just reverses, and you see them just grow back and keep going.
Okay, that's going to call for some more heavy artillery then.
Are there any other openings outside of this we can go through? Because on the map it looks like the wall that we're closest to is crumbled down, and on the back you have the back entrance, and on the side as well.
You remember the sides were open when you were looking around.
Or if you just make one.
I mean, it could, but I don't want to.
So as you want to go look for another way out.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's look for a way around.
So you start looking around, and having seen it now, you notice the same brambles are spreading it all around the building.
Okay, can we still like make it out?
They're roughly 5 feet high now, so you might be able to kind of like leap over, but it's gonna be a risk.
I'm going to attack the brambles that are covering the entrance. Just vertical cleave.
Make an attack.
See what happens. I do not. It would be an 11, but it's a natural one.
Yeah, that fails.
In that case, I am going to cast Burn Hands at the entrance. Burning Hands.
And I'm gonna keep trying. So can I roll again, or are we in initiative now?
I'm gonna do the burning hands first. Basic reflex save, you deal 2d6 damage. Okay. Well, these vines are not very reflexy, so just roll damage.
That is 5 points of fire damage against 20 feet of them.
And as soon as I see an opening, I try to leap through, like any like full-on opening.
Okay. So as you burn it, you notice the same thing. Just you have a very spread out flame this time, and you see like it starts scorching, but before it even really reaches peak flame burning, it kind of just dies down and starts reversing.
Okay, magically.
Make another attack. See if you during this burning time if you can kind of just cleave through in time.
That's 21.
Yeah, that is. Anything you want to do?
I wanna take out my rapier and slash at it as well.
For 10 damage.
You cleave in, but by the time your sword is at the ground, you notice the top is already just kind of just closing up again. Make an attack.
It's stuck, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is a 19
Hits.
and 7 damage.
7 seems similar to Ash. You just go into, it goes through, and by the time you regain your stance, it's completely closed up again.
Yeah.
So on the map there is a hole in the middle. Is that present here as well?
Let's see, I have to see the map myself. There is a kind of like a hole in the middle, but it's more like in the floor. Do you want to inspect it?
Yeah.
Make a perception.
That's 11.
It seems like a burrow or a tunnel, similar to how like rabbits and some boars make them.
Some dwarves?
Dwarves as well, or boars, like wild pigs and such. But it's too small for a person to actually go in. It does seem to kind of like tunnel towards the entrance.
Can we determine the source of where this is coming from?
The brambles, as far as you can tell, the way they're spreading, it seems like they started near the entrance and kind of like went in a square around the building and started rising up from there.
Did they just continue to go straight up, or are they beginning to arch over?
At the entrance, they seem to have stopped growing at roughly 10 feet high. The ones more to the back kind of like arrived later because they started over there.
Mm-hmm.
But those are also reaching roughly 10 feet.
Can I climb up on anything, like to get to a higher point and maybe see the tree?
There are a few walls still left intact. So if you look at the map, I think it's the top left and top right. There's still some higher walls left.
Okay. Is there one like closest to the tree that I can get like climb on top of?
Towards the end, you could try climbing on top of the door. It's like a archway,
Okay.
and it's a bit of a finicky, but you figure you can at least try.
Yeah.
So make a acrobatics.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no.
12.
You kind of think, okay, I'm gonna climb on top of the door, and as you're standing in front of the door, you're like, it's kind of a smooth wall, so it's kind of. You try a few times, but it's kind of hard to get a start on this.
That was my entire plan.
The sound is slowly shifting. It's still a wailing, crying-ish sound, but it seems to be becoming more aggressive almost. It seems to be more menacing, and it starts to give off it was already giving off a eerie vibe, but just the sound itself is starting to really sound like, well, evil almost. Just before it was just normal crying, but now it's starting to just sound almost panicking, just frantic.
Switch back over to detect magic.
Your detect magic range is 30 feet. Yeah, so
Oh, I do have widen.
Do you have something that can set the branches on fire continuously?
Well, I was trying, but I could continue to just produce flame. I think with widen spell, it would be 35 feet.
So remembering where the tree was,
Mm-hmm.
you figure if you were to stand like just in the corner of the building, your detect magic should just about reach the tree. So you kind of start heading towards the corner, kind of just not touching, but just getting as near to the wall of thorns as you can, just to get as close. But it's not pinging, it's not going off. You're sure you're within range, but it doesn't appear to be.
Okay, with that in mind, I'm going to be running around everywhere to see if I can pick up a ping.
So as you run around, you can feel the entire building has been squared off by this wall. By the time you reach, or at least are you guys just going with him or standing at the entrance?
We're keeping a close eye on. At least I'm keeping a close eye on the brambles. See if they start moving in.
And despite my love for trees, I feel so strongly about like the idea that this one needs to be taken down that I want to try to get up the wall again.
Make another acrobatics, and you make a perception. See if there's nothing out of.
19 this time.
So yeah, this time you're kind of looking around and using some of the other walls and kind of just going around. You manage to get high up enough to just be able to peer over, and you see the tree is gone.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, 10. Okay, so yeah, you're keeping an eye on the wall and kind of just all around to see if nothing weird or nothing out of place. I mean, it's as you are walking around and investigating, or at least sensing all around the place.
Nervously jogging.
You feel the magic ping appear again, but it seems to be lower. Does it give a exact position or a?
Gives a direction.
Must have gone to Australia because it went down under.
So you notice it's coming from roughly the direction of the entrance, the front, but it's more downwards. And thinking back about the way this place was elevated, it doesn't make sense. It's lower than the floor, just so you think it's something underground or underneath.
It's near the entrance. Is it on the inside of the entrance? Just moving back and forth.
Still outside, but
Okay.
it seems to be kind of like approaching underneath the ground. It's still
And the hole in the middle of the room went in the direction of the entrance, right?
roughly, yeah. It seems to be still like 20 feet outside of the building.
And that hole's gonna have something to do with this.
You said it was too small for me to fit in, right?
Yeah, it seems to
You're
be.
the biggest out of us, I think, so.
It seems to be more animal sized, not human sized.
It's enjoying.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but then what can he really do?
Set any root on fire on the bottom.
Fire cat becomes a earth cat.
But when everyone needed him the most, he disappeared.
Okay.
Everyone needed the most. He burned the place down.
Everything changed when the
Everything.
Joe Nation attacked.
As I peer over the wall because I'm still there, I notice the tree just being gone, right?
Yeah.
What does it look like on the spot that it was? Like it just ripped out and walked off, or?
No, it seems more like a.
Went for a cup of tea.
There's a hole left where the tree was. There don't seem to be any like tracks around it.
Okay.
There's a big circle of just uprooted earth, and in the middle there seems to be a hole. It's hard to tell from this distance and this angle, but you're quite sure it seems to be going down.
Okay. Fucking tree is gone, guys. What the hell?
Can you send Joe into the hole?
I mean, we can try. I jump back down from the wall inside, obviously, because I don't want to lock myself out while everyone's in. And I signal for Joe to get in the hole.
Okay. By now,
Get in the hole, tiger.
the presence or the ping is roughly 10 feet from the entrance.
Whatever it is, it's slowly moving in our direction.
Oh god.
Joe, it's kind of tight-ish fit, but he should be able to get in.
That's what she said.
Get in the hole, tiger.
I was gonna say just shove it in and just use more force. So he can. And what do you want to at least command him to do?
Well, yeah, that's actually the difficult part.
He doesn't understand like a complete language, but your bond is great enough so you can give him some basic
Search and destroy.
explode.
Dead end.
I pretty much want him to either just go all the way through if he can, and if not, get the fuck back so we know there's something up.
We're gonna kill Joe, aren't we?
This is the end of our cat. Rip mascot character, or mascot.
Okay, let's see. Fiery leopard. Yes.
Meanwhile, I readied my sword. I'm ready to fly into a ridge.
Okay. So yeah, he seems slightly reluctant about entering, but he starts crawling in, and you kind of hear him like scuffling through, and sometimes kind of like just clawing, trying to dig himself a bit more space.
Mm-hmm.
And he just, after a while, the sound kind of dies down. This doesn't seem to carry as far, or at least not far enough to really hear it. But as the presence or the ping keeps getting nearer, and it passes underneath the wall, and it's now roughly 20 feet into the abbey, and it's going with a slight. It doesn't seem to be a straight path, more like a small squiggly. Yeah, not just but it seems to go to the side a bit and kind of just bending around. But it's now roughly 20 feet into the abbey, and
Call Joe back.
yeah, you hear like a very faint growling or just low-ish sound coming from underneath.
Can I hear whether that's Joe or the thing?
It's not, at least if you guys are communicating about this.
Call Joe back.
It doesn't seem to be the same spot where, so it's not the spot where he is sensing it, but a bit further up. But it sounds almost like Joe growling, or at least aggressively, and it stops, and you start hearing the kind of like the scuffling again. And about a minute passes, and Joe comes awkwardly backwards, just kind of like scooting back. He's still quite clean, strange enough, but most of the dirt's just kind of like burning
Burns
off.
Yeah.
The ping is now about 15 feet away from the hole.
Is he like still growling or?
He's standing
Something
next
is-
to you, but it's an aggressive.
Okay, so he definitely knows something's up.
Okay, something's coming this way. I guess once it reaches like 10 feet, I'll ready my alchemical crossbow. Put one of my alchemist fires in there. Ready it.
Okay, now 10 feet.
Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. It's just a tree with sharks growing off of it.
So all of a sudden we just see like wood, shark fin.
Everyone make another perception check. And separate from this, the sound has faded over into just a stereotypical witch's laugh, like just cackling, laughing, and
Evil.
evil.
Do I need to make perception for Joe as well?
Yeah.
He's so
23.
scared now.
20?
23.
23?
7.
It's a 27 for me and an 11 for Joe.
Okay.
Because he's scared. Angry but scared.
Angry but screwed.
Okay. Make a small. You notice, at least you both notice, you hear the sound of movement, but you don't see anything yet, just you hear something moving inside, and you notice a few footprints on the appearing on the dirt. They're very faint, and it's like because it's just dark and kind of wet. There's not a lot of contrast, so it's hard to see. But you see a small, or at least a indentation, a footprint appear.
Do I recognize what type of footprint it is? Like animal, human?
It
Horse.
seems humanoid. It seems humanoid, not huge, fairly big-ish, and it seems to be bare feet, not a shoe print, but more like a footprint.
Okay, like a foot. Okay.
Would I see that as well?
It's very hard to notice, and just she notices. You see, very very slow, but there seems to be a few of them kind of just stepping.
Does my detect
You
magic
notice
pick it
your
up?
detect magic. You notice something like in the middle of the hole, but you don't see anything. You
I
just feel
immediately
something.
point it out, like there's footprints right there.
I cast glitter dust.
You cast
On the spot.
dust. Okay, glitter dust.
And as I point it out, I back away a bit from the hole.
Creatures in the area are outlined by glittering dust. It's a 15-foot burst because of my widening magic. Each creature must attempt a reflex save. If a creature has its invisibility negated by the spell, it is concealed instead of invisible. This applies both if the creature was already invisible and if it benefits from new invisibility effects before the end of the invisibility negation effect from the spell.
A reflex save.
DC 18.
Quick math. just a quick math.
Let's do a quick line of coke.
Just.
Give me that spoon.
Okay, I did a quick math.
You're all hopped up now.
So that's a success, a normal success. Target's invisibility is negated for 2 rounds. Okay, you see appear a nice,
Oh no, it's my mother.
ugly.
Oh no, it's my mom.
I fly into a rage and immediately go for the head.
It's outlined, or complete.
It's outlined.
I think.
It's outlined, yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
outlined, it is concealed instead of invisible.
it seems you see
magical
a
dust
humanoid
swirls
shape,
around it.
but it seems like hunched over, quite big
A
and
bit
muscular.
troll-like.
Yeah. You go for an attack.
Yeah, I immediately go for the head. Raged up.
You wanted to do something or just shout it out?
Oh, I was shouting and I've done it's right there.
Yeah.
And I backed away and then he did the...
He did the glitter dust.
glitter-
And I was
yeah.
ready for
Okay, so yeah,
I
he
was
does the
ready for
glitter
a
bomb. As he does that, he attacks. So after the glitter bomb, anything you guys want to do?
Change to my composite longbow.
Does
Okay.
18
I'm
hit?
going to roll me a will save for backstory reasons.
What did you roll?
18?
18 misses. It's just an outline, not the entire creature, but the shape is vaguely humanoid, so you're aiming where you think the head should be, but it's kind of strangely hunched over, so you just managed to flank over it.
Alright.
You hear the sound, the cry, or the laughing by now it was, it becomes like a wail, a screech, and that's where we roll initiative.
I got a 20 on my will save, so I'm assuming I give myself a save.
Oh no.
It's 10 on the
Yeah,
initiative.
it's this, the DC and such are up to you.
It was for backstory reasons, so...
At least, depending on how hard you want it, a standard level 3 DC would be level 18. that's just
Yeah.
regular base. So
I'll mix it then. I got a 15. Why not use our
Yeah.
Pathfinder combat pad?
Finally using it again.
Yay! I mean, I brought it with me for a reason.
I'm gonna be so happy if that +10 turns into a +11.
Like, I'm gonna be so happy when I can kill stuff.
Yeah, finally kill stuff.
Yeah, murder!
It's like a roll of 8 and it's still an 18.
yeah.
If you're used to 5th edition, that's like ridiculous numbers.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, are you level 20 or something?
But that's kind of the thing we were talking about that as well. That the numbers don't really mean anything unless you have the context for it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, we could, in terms of like sheer numbers, we could kill a Tarask at this level. It could kill us as well.
Let's be honest, it probably will.
What did you do?
Nothing.
She rolled low.
She killed the rest.
I did not. I did not.
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
He has a gaming YouTube channel. It's
Why you-
glorious.
What are you doing on computer?
Okay, so we're at 15.
28?
28.
Jesus Christ. Did you roll natural 20 or 19?
No, 19.
Oh,
Makes it even worse.
10.
10.
Hang on.
No, it's not a man.
You wrote me up in the initiative order is not a Miri.
Well, don't worry, your old name lives on here.
Ah, it does.
As does, I believe, the stock sorcerer's name.
Okay, so big surprise, Aelinor, you're up. Big strong.
Did you roll for Joe as well? Or does he go in your turn?
Don't have to, right?
Yeah, on your turn.
Oh, okay.
Or at least if you
she
command
If I
actions-
give
you
him
grant
a turn,
actions to
yeah.
go.
Okay.
To learn this stuff because it's
familiar.
familiar.
All right. As it is mildly visible right now, I want to take my hunted. What was it again? It's been a while. Yeah, my hunt prey.
Been a while.
So like, lock on.
So yeah,
Don't eat it.
she is considered concealed at the moment, which basically means you can attack her. But you make a flat roll, just a normal d20.
Okay.
If it's with target DC level is 5, and if you make it, you can just do your normal attack.
Okay.
And if you don't, you basically miss. So
It's basically not a miss if you...
yeah, so there's basically a 25% chance of auto missing.
Oh, that's gonna be... Yeah. I'm
That's
excited.
scary because I wanted to use one of my vine arrows to like.
Just try it. Go for it.
I'm just gonna do it.
Take a
Let's
chance,
go.
roll the dice.
So I pull out one of my vine arrows
Yeah.
and
Make some space. It's the moment of truth.
Let's see, vine arrow.
if I throw badly, I am gonna use my arrow point for this.
And you first have to roll for vision, then for the attack.
So that means that you can decide whether you use it before or after you discover that you hit it. What?
I don't know.
No, it's basically you have to beat a 5 to see the hag in order for it to attack. If you don't see the hag, you're automatically missing.
Yeah.
But do you have to declare the attack beforehand and expend the resources before you roll?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
basically an additional roll to your
Okay.
attack.
Yeah, I'm just looking up divine arrow. It does require a additional action to basically activate the arrow. But besides that, it's basically a normal attack.
Okay.
Is vision clear?
That's a natural 5.
Motherfucker.
Does that pass? It's a DC of 5,
DC
right?
is 5, so you hit the DC.
Okay. Jesus.
Makes it a
That's
20%
That's a
chance.
20% chance.
Yeah.
Let's go. Come on.
Let's go, Aelinor. Let's go. Nope.
Yeah, there's your hero point.
Hero point. Hero point.
That would have been a 10. So I'm gonna use my hero point.
Les points du héros. How much better?
Nope. 15.
So you shoot, and
You score.
there's a strange outline, and you think you're shooting at like the just center mass, but this thing is so weirdly hunched over. It seems to go just between the arms.
But wait, if she would shoot the ground, would it still grapple onto something? Like, would the arrow still activate?
She has to activate. So basically, you shoot the arrow and then give a command to activate.
If I don't activate it, can I retrieve it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So yeah, you shoot the arrow, but That's just your normal attack. But if you're not using a action to activate, you still have your...
Well, as soon as I notice that I miss, I don't
Yeah,
want
so
to.
you don't use the action point for activating it.
Right. And then I can retrieve.
So you
I'd
have...
be lost. I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna lose it. Okay, good.
De-stress.
A little bit, just a tiny bit, not so much. Okay, I technically did 2 then already now,
A
right?
single
Because
attack.
my hunted
Just-
shot and hunt prey and
And you use 2 action points now, yeah.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna give it my last one to Joe, actually.
So yeah, you use your last action point to command him, and he gets 2 action points.
Go,
Right.
Joe.
Now I need to throw for him, right? The thing?
You want him
Or
to
not.
just attack?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So roll the flat check.
I kind of want him to just like jump on him.
Yeah.
Scratch
So
and
he,
scratch, then
same for
bite.
him. He has to make the flat check to see if he hits first, and
Mhm.
afterwards he.
He does.
Not
With a natural 20.
Okay, so yeah, he
Motherfucker.
makes his attack
Alright.
He sees into the 4th dimension
and bites it,
and bites
or
it.
at least tries to bite it.
He checks out the Twitch subscription zone.
Okay, first, but like jump and claw.
It's a 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits with the bonuses.
Yeah, 27 would be 2 damage plus 1 fire.
The bite attack?
No, the claw attack.
Oh, claw attack. 1d4 plus 1 slashing plus 1 fire. Okay. How much was it? Plus 1 fire? 2 plus 1 fire. Okay. He has 2 action points, right? Okay, so yeah, movement and attack.
And now bite down. So Jonas.
He only has 2 action points.
Oh, the
You
jumping
have
is
to
one, of
move,
course.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
He has to move to it.
My bad, my bad.
So, next up is the mystery woman.
Call it what it is.
It's a green hag.
Me mother.
The ring gave me a bonus to something, right?
Which one did you have? Boards or the
Stalwart.
Stalwart.
This hag be well bred.
Oh, yeah. It's basically doing your daily preparation. So in the morning you get 5 temporary hit points.
Okay, just that?
Yeah, but every morning. So it doesn't
Just 5
stack,
temporary
but
hit
you
points.
get your 5 temporary hit
Yeah, I
points.
already added those, but
These last until your next daily preparation, as long as you are wearing the ring. How are you guys set out? I think Miri is basically standing right next to the hole.
I'm not standing right next to it. Joe should be like right next to
Right.
me.
So
Yeah.
Joe is on the thing right now.
Yeah. okay.
I was following the her the hag as she was moving up, so I would probably be within 30 feet of
Okay, yeah, just
the entrance.
small
I'd
way
probably be
And
hiding
I
somewhere.
stepped somewhat back from the hole.
back.
I
Which
saw the
directions do you guys want to stand?
I take the opposite direction from wherever she goes.
Okay, so yeah, basically one is towards the entrance, one is towards the back.
I mean, as long as it's cover.
Yeah, I'm towards the back then, yeah.
She
I can see it, right? I can see an outline of it.
it's concealed, so you see the outline, but it's just like yeah, hard to see, but it's visible.
Okay.
She or the shape seems to kind of look around, slightly taken aback by your glitter bomb and getting a burning cat just wailing, but she kind of recovers and lunges towards you.
Okay.
Creatures that start their turn grappled by a fiery leopard take 1d4 damage. So that first.
Is she grappled
Yes.
by the
By the claw attack, or did you pounce?
No, by the claw attack.
no, the jaw attack?
It's only with the jaw attack?
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, the bite down.
frack.
but yeah, we can just consider it a bite attack.
All right. So 1d4 fire damage.
That would have been a d8.
Yeah,
The punishment for retroactively changing it.
Fair enough, fair enough.
but yeah, grab. Yeah. So it's a 1d4.
Yeah.
Roll a 1d4.
1.
Of course.
Okay.
You see like a small hinge of smoke kind of just coming up
But considering that she's grappled, she needs to break free first.
from grab. I don't think so.
You can attempt it, but you don't have to, right?
Yeah.
And the attempt also cost 1d4 damage.
A grab creature can use the escape action to get out of the grab, and grab ends for the grab creature if the target moves away. The body part can be used for using a strike, but they can still use a strike.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look for the fiery leopard, which is now disappeared. And of course grab isn't. So yeah, she can still basically attack, but not using the body part which Joe is hanging on.
Where's Joe biting?
I was like hoping for the like shoulder neck area.
Okay, so one
So
of
she
her,
can't use her head. Now she can't think. Her intelligence is 0, therefore she dies.
he dies.
It's in the rules, man!
The rules, man.
Oh, flat-footed and immobilized condition. If you attempt a manipulate action, you must succeed a DC 5 flat check. So basically, she can't really move, and she can't use one of her arms for attacking
She has to make the same roll we have to make now. Okay.
to be able to do a manipulate action. So not everything is.
Alright, let's go.
She kind of starts shaking a bit and almost spasming, and she kind of bends over, and just a cloud of green vapor spreads out in the area. It's a 15 feet, so Joe and Ash are...
Almost.
That's the downside of writing it down like you did.
Yes, it's a...
It's shit again.
It is.
So make a fortitude saving roll.
That is a natural
Oof.
3.
It's a natural 3. Is it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hero point this.
Okay.
Better. That is a 18.
Do I need to throw that for Joe as well?
Yeah, just for Joe.
18.
Can't see. Oof. It's a natural 1, 8 total.
Okay, so you have a regular fail,
Okay.
and you are now considered enfeebled, basically weakened. When you are enfeebled, you take a status penalty equal to the condition, in this case 1, to your strength-based rolls. So basically everything where you're using strength, it's -1.
Okay.
Joe has a critical fail, so he has the same, but with a -2.
Okay.
Basically all his strength-based things are -2.
-2. Yeah.
So for him it would be, because his attacks are finesse, they're dex-based, so just the bonus damage is reduced.
Yeah, everything that's strength.
Okay.
So his normal attacks become -2.
And so athletics becomes -2 as well.
His damage is now a dice +1, right? So 1d8 +1 or 1d4 +1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, those become -1.
Okay.
But that's it.
But wait, if it's strength and it's a finesse weapon, doesn't...
Finesse still uses strength for the bonus.
okay. Okay.
Does it?
Yeah, it's
thought you
kind of
could
weird.
choose.
I thought as well it would be using dex, but from what I can tell, it still uses strength for the bonus damage, just dex for the bonus to hit.
Alright. This is not damaged.
Yeah.
Alright. Hit me with your best shot.
Yeah, finesse. Use your strength
Yeah.
modifier for attack
Alright.
rolls, but yeah.
Okay.
So, she has one more point left. She is. Can she do this? Nope. That's 2 action points. That's 2. She can't do all this. Everything's 2 action points. She's just gonna attack.
Me?
She's going for Joe because he's hanging on the shoulder. So, let's see. It's a natural 1. What's his AC?
18.
So that's a critical fail. So yeah, she kind of fumbles around trying to hit Joe, but it's just so awkward, and she's just kind of flailing around, and you don't really see, but you hear her like smack herself.
Wow.
Next up is Alendar.
Alendar. Need to quickly check up if my acid arrow does splash damage.
Acid splash.
No, acid arrow does not. In that case, I'm going to...
Yeah,
Start
that's
off-
persistent.
Yeah, start off with casting acid arrow at it.
Okay.
Don't fail me now.
Got a first roll to 5.
Well, it's a 6, so...
You fail.
I'm gonna remove those.
I'm going to hero point that.
Oh, yeah. What do you use?
That is a 16.
Which misses.
I think.
There's no fail. No, there's not a fail.
And I'm going to use my remaining action points to move behind cover.
Okay. There's a few walls, and so it's easy enough to find some cover to.
Way over there.
So next up is Ash.
I am going to.
Her invisibility drops.
It drops after 2.
But she attacked, so her
Okay.
her own spell dropped.
Okay.
So you guys now see the actual
Okay.
clear
The
picture.
ugly green thing.
I want to try something, but not yet. I'm gonna go for a clean hit the first time around. Of course, trying to evade Joe as much as possible. Is she immune to crits?
No.
That's a natural 20.
That's a hit.
So how did this work again? It's the dice and the bonus doubled, right?
Yeah, so just do your regular damage, and at the end it's doubled.
That's 1.
You're going to lop her in half.
That's 6, 12, 32.
Quick math.
Myth.
Quick math. He did indeed almost lob her into. Yeah, you. After her whack towards Joe, she appears, and you use that moment to just
Yeah, just instantly like revert my movement. Just.
and smack down.
I'm just gonna do the same thing again, and I'm gonna ask a question first. If I want to plant a large javelin, which is just loosely hanging on my back, which I can just flick off, if I want to plant that javelin and just start grappling her and pulling her into it, is that 2 action points?
I think you've done that move before.
I have multiple times.
Yeah, with the sword, I think it was. Planting the javelin would be an action,
Yeah, and then the grapple. would
and the
be-
grapple would be an action. But actually starting to pull her in would also be a action.
She's considered flanked, right?
Yeah, flat-footed or flanked or.
I'm gonna go for another attack. That's not gonna hit. That is plus 9. That is a 16 minus 5. That's 11.
Misses.
All right. Then I'm just gonna try to pin her down. That's my last remaining move.
Yes.
So basically, Joe has her by the shoulders, right?
Yeah.
And she's sort of buckled over from the strike.
Yeah, she's already kind of hunched over herself, so.
Okay. I wanna I kind of assume that her mouth is open right now.
She's after barfing, she's closed it up again.
Okay. I slam her down by the chin and try to throw her down onto the ground so that Joe can pin her down, prone, if
Okay.
possible. Come on. That is a 21.
Hits.
That would just be a
Or
grapple, just to pin her down.
let's see, a grapple is this.
Because I basically just lob all my strength in it and just slam her into the ground.
Against their fortitude DC. Okay, fails. She makes the save. You fail to grapple your opponent.
At 21? What?
Well, her fortitude save.
Jesus.
It's a strong creature. Strong.
Strong woman.
She's all about that hunch. Well, that's my turn.
You're not raging, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because how
You
would I
raged
do
before
32?
combat. You raged because before combat started, right?
Yeah, I
okay, yeah.
raged into my first strike.
Yeah, no, I was counting up the action points, but you're raging before.
Yeah.
Next up, Aelinor.
My hunt prey does work now, right? Or do I need to do it again? Does it kick in when it becomes visible, or?
Don't think her invisibility is concealed. I think it doesn't. Technically, you can use it on her if you, but you have to do the same. At least before you had to do the same roll, but now it's just like normal.
Wasn't the hag already hunt brave then? Oh, no. Right?
She
Well,
wasn't,
I did do
right?
it the first time, but I
They
was
didn't
kind
did
of vague
the-
whether it worked or not.
Yeah.
She passed the she passed the initial roll.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so she would be hunted.
Okay, good. So, I want to move to wherever my arrow landed. When I missed the first time, the vine arrow.
That's on the other side of the hag.
I want to take it and then shoot it at the hag. How many points did that take? 2 or 3?
That would be 3 your entire turn. 1 to move, 1 to grab, and 1 to shoot.
Fair enough. I'll just do that.
But now you do have the bonus.
That was my point.
Which I don't know anymore.
Double damage.
And shots.
And the first shot that hits
Or not
is...
double, right? But
Yeah, the
twice
1d,
the-
the 1d.
Twice
Oh yeah, and
1d8.
it's 2 attacks. Toch? Yeah, 100 shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2. You
And the first
2
one is
strikes.
2 1d8.
Yeah, and that's the other effect. So it's 2 attacks, and the first attack you hit, it does the. So yeah, it's just
Just throw.
just yeah.
It's basically a sneak attack with arrows. Oh, come on.
Jesus fucking Christ. So yeah, that's a 9. I miss again,
Natural 1.
as per usual.
That would be Divine Shot again.
100 shot is
Yep.
2 attacks, so you can make another.
Yeah, but Divine Shot is gone, right? With the first attack.
Well, it's not gone. I miss it, but I have another one.
Yeah. So grabbing the divine, it was an action, so she had 1 action point
Okay.
left,
Yeah, got it.
and then she can use 100 shot, so you can make another attack.
But can I use another vine arrow to try then? Or do I-
Yeah, firing the vine arrows is basically free. It's
Yeah, okay.
activating, which is
Yeah, I'll
cost.
have to do that the next round. But no.
Assuming
If
she's
it's
around by
if
that
it's
point.
in there, it's in there.
Opposites. Let's go.
It's a 14.
14
I'm
misses.
just gonna lie down and die.
Oh, come on. You can at least pick your stuff back up.
And she has to be close to ground for that, so
Yeah. Lie down, pick it up, then die.
just roll up like a worm.
So next up is it's -2. Yeah, okay, just to make sure. Next up is the hag.
Hug.
The hag.
Hug.
All squares in 20 feet radius burst. You see her start casting a spell, and she kind of like just smacks the ground, and all the vines and roots inside the hole start growing and just latching on to you guys. So you, Joe, and Aelinor are all caught within the area.
No reflex.
It is a reflex save, yes. Oh wait, no, it's a reflex save at the start of your turn, so
Oh, okay.
you can leave it for now. But yeah, you are considered entangled for now.
Can I attack as being entangled?
Yeah, it's basically just your movement speed is -10,
Okay.
unless you do a critical fail, then it's
reverse.
Then it's
then
immobilized.
it's mobilized. Yeah, and you can use a action to escape, so that's separated from the actual reflex.
These numbers are placed weirdly.
It's one of those dice.
She goes for another attack at Joe.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Rip Kitty.
Let's see, where is it? A 29 to hit.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Crit.
His AC is 18, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crit.
Yep.
Lucky Joe. That's 22 damage.
Excuse me?
22 damage.
Yes, what, 25?
Yeah.
Oh, and it's already at max, so she kind of just slashes at him and leaves a giant gash, like just the entire side of his, just his entire side. And the wound just kind of like cauterizes itself. Alendar.
Right. Seeing the wench, gonna repeat my actions. Acid arrow.
As Darrow.
Using my last 3rd level. It's not gonna hit, is it? I mean, she's flat-footed, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so would an 18 hit?
Hit.
Nice.
Or 18? No, 18 doesn't.
Even flat-footed?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ah, okay.
We forgot
Well,
the
in that case.
1d4 damage.
You can roll it now. The,
2. Yeah, it's something.
Okay. In that case, that's the acid arrow gone. Let's see, what else can I do? I'm going to use my chemical crossbow then. Because I can't retroactively hero point, can I?
not no.
No. Chemical crossbow. That's, nope. That is a 15. -5.
Yeah, it misses.
1 charge down.
Next
That's
up,
my turn.
Ash.
Styrik. Or not. No, that's a 12. 11, sorry. I'm just going to do the same turn. I'm just going to strike twice and then try for her to grab.
Okay.
She's within grabbing range still, right? She has
Yeah,
to
if
move.
you're attacking, she is.
Are you kidding me?
Yikes.
What is wrong with this dice? That's a 2 and a 1.
What's wrong with this day?
Okay, since my sanity is kind of low right now, I'm going to use my Cthulhu die, which is also a d20, for the grab and smash.
Okay.
Jeez. 17. That's my
At least we're already at a cemetery.
Well, the situation was looking rather grave, wasn't it?
Aelinor, you're up.
Okay, I want to start by giving 1 point to Joe to make an attempt at a bite and then get the fuck off.
Okay.
Wow.
It's a 17.
Misses.
Well, then get the fuck off.
And get the fuck off, yeah. He is considered entangled.
Is he?
Everyone in the hall, basically. You are as well.
So he's entangled on
Oh, I
top
didn't make
of...
my reflex save, by the way.
Oh, no, you didn't. But doesn't matter, it's only for the movement. Immobilized
Oh, okay.
still gives you the option, so it's just for the movement. I'm just gonna see... roll a reflex save for Joe.
Whoop. Doesn't count, doesn't count, doesn't count.
Jeez, the amount of natural ones reminds me of that one session we had. There we go.
That's better. That is
Today
a
seems to be a day of extremes, doesn't it?
27.
Okay, yeah, so he makes the save and basically he just leaps over everything and makes it out of the hole.
Wow. Just. Wow, such a cat. Many fire. Wow.
You see like fire, like blood passing by.
Wow, much rainbow. Very sparkle. Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
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 She turns towards you.
My turn ain't over yet, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
She still has 2.
Yeah.
Eleanor, keep going.
Pew pew.
I will take my hunted shot. Won't miss anyway. I'll use regular arrows this time because I think that's just cursed.
Shooter.
Shooter. Wah, wah.
It's
It seems like this is always the case.
14.
Potentially dangerous encounter. Let's not do anything right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a...
Potentially lethal encounter.
11.
Everything goes well.
Still misses.
And I'm just gonna back away.
Make a reflex save.
It's a 21.
That makes it... Okay, so yeah, you just back off. The vines kind of start grabbing for you, but you manage to just keep going in between them.
Right.
She turns towards you. And she starts reaching out towards you, but it doesn't seem to be like before, like the slashing attacks she used before. It's more like just one finger, and she basically just pokes your forehead.
Boop.
Make a will save.
Oh no.
Oh no, dude. If this is what I think it is, I'm fucked.
Go on.
Hang on. 15.
It's a normal failure. Okay, it could be worse. Could be a critical
Could be
failure.
worse,
yeah.
Don't be petrified, don't be petrified.
It's not petrified, so
Could be
You-
worse though.
feel your skin kind of just start sagging and
It's not
almost
petrified, it's
drooping.
liquefy.
And you guys see this happen, and it's almost like she just starts aging, and your skin and your appearance starts almost looking like this creature itself, just bubbly and ugly and almost deformed.
She's turning to actual ash.
She is not. You are now considered cursed.
Oh no.
So for combat, this doesn't really have a effect. But for gameplay wise, you're basically just butt ugly, which has a negative effect on people you meet until you lift the curse.
Alright.
Okay, Ash, we still love you for who you are.
I I'm going ham.
She still has one more action, and she kind of takes her hand back and then goes for the slash.
Slap.
So now you're ugly and dead. Quick muff. Quicker muff. 27.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Nervously rolling your dice?
Yeah.
A 3 plus.
She's old now.
So it's 8 damage.
How much?
8 damage.
Yeah. What
With that
else?
particular motion as well.
The enfeeble goes up to 2. So the penalty is now 2
Minus
on.
okay. Stierijk. Oh. Oh. Plus 8, that's 23.
Hits.
Hell freaking Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It's 9 plus 8, 17, 27.
Yeah, she feels it.
I'm really feeling it.
It's the power of the Monado.
Wait, Alendar, you're still.
Yeah,
your
it's my
turn.
turn first. Oh, what are you doing?
Damn it.
It's
I completely
dementia.
forgot. So
It's dementia.
Oh, fuck you.
It's the early onset dementia.
So I'm gonna be a nice DM and just remember this is gonna happen. If it's possible, you can we'll just say this happens on your turn.
Okay. Yeah, this happens on my turn because I'm pissed.
Okay.
She's getting old.
How
She
far
has
away am
Parkinson's and dementia.
20-ish feet.
I need to
depending
be
how far you
precise.
want- how far you want to stay from the hole. She hasn't really moved from the center of this hole yet.
I stayed out of range for the vines, so
Yeah, the vines are
25
only in the hole itself.
I'm 25 feet or so away.
Yeah.
In that case, I will start out with a hydraulic push attack. That is a 21.
First AC, or
Yeah, versus AC.
that hits, or
Consider
Yes,
flanked as
She's,
an
fla-
extra.
and she's flat-footed.
not anymore because Joe.
Still
but
flanked.
She's still flat-footed.
Joe jumped off, but he didn't technically go anywhere.
okay. Well then he's.
Because that would have been another move.
But
and
yeah, I
he
think
didn't have one.
21 is her AC, so it still hits.
Okay.
Or would have been her AC. So 3d6 and a knockback.
Nice.
She suffers 12 points of 13 points of bludgeoning damage, and is knocked back 5 feet away from me. Away from Alendar.
How much was it? 5?
5 feet.
Yeah.
Knocks back 5 feet, and she suffers 13 points of damage.
What
Okay.
would make that knock her into me?
Um,
Aren't you out of range though for her?
Yeah, you're out of
you
range.
are now basically not completely, but more between them, because you ran past her to get your arrow, so you are standing on his
right,
side
yeah.
of her.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true.
So if you use this, you basically knock her to the edge of the hole, with almost everyone standing on one side of her.
Yeah. And then I'm going to use my last action to fire my alchemical crossbow again. That's a nope. 9 in total. No? A 4. Even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So where does that put me?
5 feet from her. So you have to make a reflex save.
Well, if it's 5 feet away, it would just be diagonal. So it would still be within 5 feet. It's 5 feet away from me.
Yeah,
So
in
diagonal
that
for
case, if it's diagonal, you could still hit her.
Okay.
So yeah, you went for a attack with 27,
23, right?
23 or 27, 20 something.
23, yeah.
23. Okay.
That was the amount of damage you did, yeah.
Yeah, 20 something. So, okay. So we have 2 more action points left.
Stierijk. Plus
Yeah.
8. That is 24 minus 5. No, 19.
Hits.
Hits?
Oh no, I made a mistake.
Too bad.
No.
That's 21, right?
Against him, she has a +1 bonus versus saves.
Ah,
So
okay.
technically she made it, but fuck that. You hit.
You sure?
You roll a.
19?
Yeah, hits.
Wait, lucky, that's worse. How does a 24 sound to you?
Like a lot of damage. It sounds like a. How do you want to do this?
Basically, the second she gets pushed off, I just go down and rapidly spin twice around my axle.
Okay, so
It's nice to see a 12 pop up on a d12. It's very
For
sad.
once.
I mean, our D12 very comfortable.
we're gonna kind of like combine the attacks, and you just go like a spindle.
And
it's-
lack of a better word, let it rip.
Yeah, and it's you chop at her, and it's just below the neck, but like you take a part of the shoulder and it just almost cleave through. Keep going and cleave it in half, so it just like her top with like one arm attached flops to the back, and her abdomen kind of flops to the front, and her legs they just kind of keep standing there.
She Beybladed her head off.
And
All the while looking like your grandma.
Imagine that, yeah.
Don't you wish your
And
grandma was...
eventually it all just kind of collapses, and there's like this there's not even normal blood, but just more like green ichor coming out, and it just smells awful. And as it hits the ground, you see the vines kind of just start dying out, just completely withering and crumbling down. Same as the wall, you see the wall kind of just start dying down and falling over. Great success. Combat is over.
Great success!
How does my
No
skin
one
look?
died.
If I look at my hands.
Almost.
No change. It's still but ugly.
Well, I'll start off by walking up to Joe, casting heal. Actually, no, I'll just cast heal for a...
I just want to point something
3
out
points.
before we get started. I may have gotten cursed, but I actually didn't lose any HP. Everything was temporary. It was my rage bonus and my ring. It's the first battle that has happened.
You don't take any damage.
Yeah, I haven't taken any damage myself. Just 8 points of damage. I got +5 from the ring, +5 from the rage.
Does anyone else need healing aside from Joe?
No, just Joe.
Okay. Just Joe, I cast heal.
Okay.
That is... At first level, that is 15 points healed. Yes.
So yeah, you can write
How many
down.
was it?
You,
Sorry.
15.
Oh, 50. Alright.
I've been petrified by hags a few times too many, so when I saw the boop, I was like, oh no, no, not again.
Like, oh no, no, no.
okay. So how do you guys want to proceed? You.
I walk to Elendar and I basically show him the visage. He got anything against this?
Let me double check. Certainly not magical.
She just booped me on the forehead and feel like I'm ready for retirement.
Nope, don't think so.
You know of a way that we might be able to change this?
We might be able to go to a cleric or something. A place with magical healing in town.
Alright. I take a deep breath, put my bear cloak on, flip the hood up, and put the shawl across my face.
Take the shawl down. You look like a wise old shaman, like this.
I keep the shawl up.
First things first, though. I'll grab my kukri and I'll lop off its head.
Well, it's basically
I did that for you.
Didn't you cut like?
more like this. So it's like a head and a single arm. But
I'll cut the arm off. Right. Well, we have proof of our kill. Maybe now that we're safe, we can look around a bit to see if there's stuff we can take with us.
Yeah, sure.
Meanwhile, I just check up on Joe and retrieve my vine arrows. Don't want to leave those behind.
Joe is quite shaken up by this ordeal, but the healing spell really.
Patched them up, kind of.
Yeah, he's still a bit shaken, but seems to be doing okay.
Why did I put those back in the bag? It's such a weird habit of mine. A big combat encounter and just immediately chug my dice into my bag. Oh yeah, we're done.
Stress.
Stop
nerves.
now, just go.
It's the dementia.
Here. Early
Must be.
onset. That was it.
Well, can I look around to see if there's anything that would look like it would be of value?
Make a perception.
That is a 17.
Looking through her, well, what's left of her, and just
I
kind
stay
of
the fuck away from her body.
her body. Okay, just the place itself. you don't find really anything besides what you've already seen. So there's the small, well, room-ish. There was in the room upstairs or in the corner, but that's about it.
I grab the last remaining torch I have, light it, and set the body on fire.
I assist with produce flame.
Okay, so yeah, between the two of you, you burn the body, and it's a weird, almost chemical smell, or just like very rotten, very just nasty, and she kind of starts almost like melting, and pieces kind of just droop off. It's kind of gross.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she just kind of burns, and she keeps on burning and smoldering. But
In the meantime, can I try to recall whether or not I know what happened to me, and if I can change it back to some extent?
make a either arcane, arcana, religion, or occultism check.
I mean, I could probably help out with that.
Yeah, if you want.
It's a 9.
That is a. Of course, when we don't need it, it's a 27, natural 20.
So yeah, you don't really know much about curses and such. Just magic as a whole is just not your forte. Alendar,
For backstory reasons, knows precisely what's going on here.
and as he explains to you, there's several forms and ways of cursing. Either a direct curse like this, or a cursed object which kind of like binds to you. But there's always the same way. Usually they are permanent, so almost none of the curses are for a set period of time, unless the effect simply has a time to it. But usually there is a set of conditions, or a specifically, or just a something you have to do to lift the curse. There are magical ways to lift it, but you need to find higher level priests or clerics or someone who can really dispel it. But yeah, in a non-magical way to lift the curse, there is a condition you have to meet.
I don't know, it's like sacrificing a baby or something.
Yeah, basically it's kind of like included in the curse. So each curse has its own way of lifting.
Would he know what that would be for hags?
Depends on the curse. So a single hag might be able to cast several curses. All of them have their own effect and own conditions.
Okay, did she say anything, or
Was
was it just boop?
Would I have been able to understand that speaking Sylvan?
No, the language she spoke wasn't one you recognize. Or which languages do you speak?
I speak Common, Dwarven, Elven, and Sylvan.
No, you don't recognize. You have Halit, I think, and you.
I just have Common and Elven, and then I can pick one per day, but that's
Okay.
like in the morning.
Which language did you choose in the morning?
Well, in this case, Dwarven, because we were in a Dwarven.
Okay, yeah, no, none of you understand the language.
Would I be able to memorize the words?
Make a
I do want to state that I was raging while this was happening.
yeah. So it's, let's see,
Like, I can't use concentration things. You can't use actions with the concentrate trait unless they have also have the rage trait. You can seek while raging. After you stop raging, you lose any remaining temporary hit points, yada yada yada. But it also says, oh no, wait, it doesn't say that I can't like remember things.
make a just a general intelligence. See if you remember.
That's a 10.
You vaguely recall her mumbling something, but
Not the exact words.
no, it was a language you didn't speak, so
I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah. That's
yeah.
fair. So, does any of you know where I can find someone who can lift this?
When you guys went around town, was there a church or something where this kind
Did
of
we
stuff could be
find a
removed?
temple?
You passed one. You think there is a small temple in the town. Not major. It's more of a. It's not really a religious community or something. So there is a temple, but just a smaller one.
We can always check there and ask there.
Yeah, and if not, if where we're going is going to have as many heroes as
It's
Say
true.
we can.
Then we might find someone in Breach Hall.
Yeah, and if not, we can always go on to the capital city of Iskar and ask the Pathfinder Society for help there.
How about everyone make a society check, recall knowledge, see if anyone just maybe not speak but at least recognize the language.
I am going to use my second hero point. Better. 19.
10.
6.
But what you?
19.
19. So you don't speak it and you don't really.
I can be like, oh, this sounds.
Yeah, it's hard to remember the exact wording.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, it sounded like a quite a uncommon language, which kind of makes it pop out, and you recognize it as Eklo,
Okay.
a language spoken mostly by evil fae and just otherworldly monsters.
Hmm.
But yeah, you didn't really hear it well enough to remember the words, even phonetically.
Hmm.
Just it sounded vaguely like Eklo, which makes sense for a hag.
Alright. Well, this is just how it's going to be for a while.
Yeah.
At least we can pull a grandma stunt here and there.
Yeah. I mean,
Start a rumor about a killer grandma in bar fights in this town.
start a rumor about a grandma that can outdrink dwarves.
So, what you said was that I either needed to recognize how I was cursed to get it lifted or get it lifted magically, right?
Yeah, that would be it.
So, church, temple would be our best bet.
That would be our best bet immediately,
Yeah.
and if not, we have
Make a,
connections now.
make a detour to the Pathfinder Society.
Yeah.
See if we can get it lifted. How much does it cost to lift a curse?
Everything, all of it.
You have to enter a bargain with another hag.
Fuck.
Shit.
15 babies.
I'm okay with that.
15? Only 15?
Only
Wow,
15.
that's cheap.
It's bargain.
For now, let's head back to town.
Yep. And in the brief moment after you two head out, Alendar kind of stays there in front of the fire, the burning hag remains, checks over their shoulder, makes sure that you guys are out of the place, takes their mask off, spits on the fire, curses something in Sylvan, mask back on, walks out.
And as we're walking, I start like bandaging up certain parts of skin that are exposed.
Yeah, it's temporary, so most wounds are already kind of just.
No, just like the exposed skin.
Just the old skin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She insecure.
She doesn't want anyone to see her saggy tats.
So yeah, basically
I'm pretty
you're.
flat as it is, but
Well, tats as in tattoos.
oh,
Why was that the first thing you
Tits
went
and
to?
tats.
what do you think?
I mean,
True.
you know who you're talking to,
Yeah,
right?
I know.
So it's not as bad as this, but your skin is basically has the same just like
texture,
old
leathery,
leathery,
old.
the warts, the bumps, and your face kind of also just kind of
Yeah, I
sagging.
start
and
bandaging stuff up.
You're just like, 82 now instead of 22.
82 and a bit of frog.
you basically look like a very fit version of this.
You look like an old
I just lived. But yeah, as we start walking, I start bandaging up like the really exposed parts, like the midriff, the arms, and stuff like that. As we're walking, taking bits of armor off, putting some band-aids on it, and putting the armor back on.
Someone roll a survival check. See if you guys make it back without getting lost.
That's better.
That's a 25.
Yeah, easy. It was kind of easy. Just the way itself was mostly follow the road and
Follow the scorch patches back.
yeah.
At what time would we arrive?
Considering the entire fight, it's somewhere in the middle of the night by now. With how long you guys were stuck in the. It seems to be very quiet in town. It's not huge, so there's not like a crowded nightlife. But just some random people you see just still.
Good news then, I suppose, for you, Ash. No one's going to be able to see you
Yeah, I'm okay with them seeing me.
like this.
Yeah.
Bandages say otherwise, but we'll head to the mayor in the morning.
I'm gonna see if the temple is still open.
Yeah, most temples and medical places are always open. So as you head there,
I'm gonna follow Ash and see
okay.
what's up,
What
or at least what they might be able to do.
As you enter the temple, there's a few dwarves, mostly just cleaning up a bit. It's very quiet. There's like 2 of them cleaning up, and you see one of them kind of working at the altar. And as you enter, the one at the altar kind of turns around and gets this late and comes up to you. And as she approaches, you already see her kind of start looking at you and kind of slightly cocks her head, and you seem to have befallen some misfortune.
Yeah, you could say that.
You could say that.
Is there anyone here capable of lifting curses?
I can give it a try, but this feels like quite a hefty curse. I'm afraid. Come right up, and she leads you towards the altar.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of sits you down there and wait here for a moment. And
Take the hood off and take the shawl down.
even before actually seeing you, she already seemed to have noticed the curse.
Like an aura.
More of like a feeling. And she goes in the back, comes back with another dwarf. This one seems a lot older, like just a very big white beard and
Big bushy beard.
like dwarven version of Gandalf. He starts. He introduces himself as the head priest, and after examining you for a bit, how did this befall you? I mean, I sense it's a very strong curse, but
Would I know what we fought?
roll a occultism.
13.
You're not sure. The best you can describe is he looked like me, but
Green and hunched over. And I tell them, like, I got touched in the forehead, then this happened. And she uttered something. Would you have told me what language it was?
I suppose that Alendar would have joined you guys, or joined you at the church. We, in services of the town, we combated a hag. It was hiding.
as you mentioned hag, you see him kind of just
The curse
shocked.
was muttered in Uklo, if that says anything to you.
He kind of strokes his beard, and I'm gonna try, but I'm gonna try. And he starts setting up some candles and just starts preparing on a ritual. And after about 10 minutes, you've all sense like the magic kind of build up around you. And as it starts reaching a peak, it almost just shatters. And you see the priest kind of stumble back and fall on his butt. And
I help him up.
thank you. You're gonna need someone stronger. I mean, this is quite a potent curse.
Would you know anyone that could?
I mean, this is quite this is not a big town for religious, for temples, for.
We were headed towards Breachhill after this. Perhaps you know anybody there?
Or Isgard, for that matter.
Or okay.
I think your best bet would be a bigger, or at least a major city.
Like
Okay.
Isgard.
Isgard, yeah. This town is simply too small for this. I'm not well equipped or trained for these kind of happenings. Go to a major city and explain what you just told me. Make sure you mention it's a green hag. Make sure to remember the language you said it. Aklo. Make sure you mention these. I'm not an expert in curses, but all these things hint towards how to lift it. He gives a small explanation similar to what you told about most curses. Either you have to have a very strong priest or cleric dispel it, or you need to find and
Fulfill.
fulfill the conditions.
Yeah.
And you seem to me to be a Well learned, man. Have you perchance heard of ways that we will be able to discover what the terms of the curse are?
Hags are a nasty bunch. Usually,
Tell me about it.
depending on the exact hag, you can either negotiate or at least try to have a conversation with them.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, you might
Bits of ichor just.
maybe a different hag or a witch, someone who's more proficient with curses might be able to tell you the conditions to meet it. The only thing I can think of is find a cleric, a strong one. This is a way too potent for me.
So either find a witch or go to Isgard.
Do you know any witches nearby? Any occult magical practitioners?
Not in this town, but where are you guys heading?
We were planning initially to go to Breach Hill after we completed this quest.
And following that, we were going to be going to Iskar.
Yeah.
Valery's stuff was strictly alchemical, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, her mother was accused of being a witch, but she was a surgeon, an alchemical practitioner.
Breach Hill. I don't think Breach Hill will have someone capable, but they are a village or a town proficient with adventurers. So I think they would know more about how to deal with this.
Be able to point us in a more specific direction.
Yeah,
Okay.
the only thing I can think of is go to Aelinor, the capital of Isgir. But that's way beyond Breach Hill. So my best bet, asking Breach Hill, probably they'll point you further up to Aelinor, but no, maybe they'll have someone there. I mean, as I said, they're a town full of adventuring people, so they have more of the just well-versed for anything of this nature.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for trying.
And I'm sorry I can't help.
Really, it's fine. And I take my leave
Okay.
We follow.
and head towards the inn.
So, considering the time, how do you guys want to proceed from here?
I'd say wrap it up here, do the level up, and then proceed further with
Yeah.
the next session.
Okay, so yeah, for next session we'll be from this inn.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can think of if there's anything you want to do still in this town.
Yeah.
We can do it now. So the next session we can just yeet off.
Were there any? No, the bookstores are closed. But I suppose that before we
we could just take it
Yeah,
from here.
we can just
next
do-
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From
That we
leaving,
head
from
in-
leaving
yeah,
the
so
temple.
then, in that case we'll do the leveling up and
Call it.
call it.
All right.